All right. Hello, amazing entrepreneurs. I am your host, Ritzel Loredo-Rectra, and today is not just an episode, it's a journey into the heart of brand empowerment and with our incredible guest, Trish Springteen. Throughout our conversation today, we'll uncover the secrets of brand empowerment, finding your voice, standing out. All right, but before we dive deep, let's kick off with the Know the Expert, where we'll get to know our guest on a personal level. Are you ready? All right, let's roll. Here we go. All right. Hello, Fambam. Welcome to our Know the Expert segment, and I hope you're thriving wherever you are. So brace yourself for an exciting convo, okay? Conversation that will not just inform but lift your entrepreneurial spirits. So my mission is very simple: creating a space where experts shine, humanizing entrepreneurship by putting the person before the title. All right. So in talking business with Ritz, we make business talk fun, simple, and practical. Right? Join us for empowering discussion, valuable insights, and authentic connection in the online business community. So, with experts interview, that's why I chose this one. We're all about empowering topics. We're all about, empowering topics, valuable insights, and authentic connections. So join us by liking, subscribing, and sharing my video channel, my YouTube channel at Ritzel-Rectra, and let's make this community thrive. Hit the bell also for future notifications. And don't forget to join our Facebook group for learning and networking. All right. And drop your questions today in the comments, and we'll have a Q&A segment to answer them as well. All right, Fambam, I'm beyond thrilled to introduce to you someone extraordinary. Our guest today is none other than Trish Springteen. I'll be putting her on stage soon. So she is the get known be seen specialist and Australia's leading expert, all right, in empowering introverts. She is a powerhouse dedicated to helping you be the unicorn in your business. Intriguing. Now, throughout her journey, Trish, let me just change the angle right now so you can see her face, all right? Throughout her journey, Trish has snagged multiple international awards, right? Mentored countless individuals, and is a best-selling author as well. As a host of Get Known, Be Seen WebTV, she is on a mission to amplify your impact on a global scale. Now, get ready to peek into the brilliance of Trish's mind. Trish, let me put her on stage now. Here we go. Trish, welcome to Talking Business with Ritz.
Hi, Ritz. I am delighted to be here.
All right. Here we go. A bit late. All right. It's a pleasure to have you on the show, Trish. And now it's time to discover the person behind the title. So let's get to know our guest on a deeper level. All right. Are you ready, Trish?
Oh, I'm always ready, Ritz.
Okay, here we go. Now, let me change the angle again. Today's episode is a game changer centered on a pivotal theme, which is brand awareness. We find your voice, and then stand out, right? But before we delve into this insight, Trish, let's get to know you better. Who is Trish Springteen on a personal level, and how did your journey kick off as a get known, be seen specialist or confidence coach? Walk us through your backstory.
My backstory. Look, if you were to let's go way back to the Jurassic period when I left high school, which is a
All
long
right.
time ago, people, a long time ago. And if you were to speak with anybody that knew me then and said to them, look, this is what Trish is doing now, they would be rolling around on the floor laughing, because I was extremely shy and very much an introvert. We come forward to now, I'm still an introvert, but not quite so shy. And how did I get that journey? Well, it took quite a few years, because I didn't believe I had a message. I didn't believe that the people would want to hear me speak, or even to be able to do what I do now and be guest on your show. It was just something that was not on my radar. How did I get there? A lot of very helpful people, like-minded people, a lot of work on my mindset, work on believing in myself, understanding what I'm doing, getting a lot of credibility, writing my books. It was been a long journey, and out of that journey, I've learned some many, many lessons on how to be an introvert speaker, how to be able to harness that energy and get up and speak. I've learned how to stop my imposter syndrome. So, yeah, it's been a long journey, but I've enjoyed it.
Right. So that was interesting, and discovering the stories that shape our expert into who they are today is always captivating. Now, let's get to know Trish on a more personal level. All right. So, are you ready for a lightning round of fun questions?
Absolutely. Go on. Let's see where we go.
All right. Here we go. What is your favorite word and why?
Favorite word, believe. And
Believe.
why do I
All right.
that? It's because I believe that believing in myself and believing in what I do is the foundation of everything I do.
All right. Okay. Number 2, early bird or night owl?
Night out. Night out.
All right. Me too. Okay. Tea or coffee?
Tea. Absolutely. Any sort of tea.
All right. Dream vacation destination?
Oh, how long we got? I love to go anywhere. I love cruising. I love to cruise
Cruising.
because I have to unpack once and I can go and see a whole variety of places. So cruising.
Where have you been?
I have done the river cruise from Amsterdam to Budapest. I've cruised very shortly around the Mediterranean. I've cruised to New Zealand. I've cruised around the Pacific Islands. In April, we'll be doing a cruise from Hawaii up to Alaska and finishing in Vancouver, where I'll be doing a speaking gig for 3 days, and then down to Los
Wow.
Angeles. That's coming up in April and May.
Wow, you've been around. That's nice.
I like to travel.
All right. Now, top productivity hack.
I like to do lists. I like to do lists because if I list out on every Monday, I list what I need to be doing for the week. And I may not get through all my lists, but I prioritize. And there's just something really brilliant when you pick up your pen and you put your line through that and say, yep, I've done that. So for me, for productivity, because I'm very good at procrastination, to-do lists.
Right. Okay. Now, next, your go-to motivational quote.
My go-to motivational thought. It's actually a process that I've devised, and it's called 60 Seconds of Insane Courage. And when I need to be motivated, when I'm down, it's 20 seconds to say no to the negative, 20 seconds to say yes to the positive, and 20 seconds to smile and just say, I'm going to do whatever I'm going to do.
All right. Now, if you could have dinner with anyone, living or dead, who would it be and why?
Ooh, okay. Dead would be Elizabeth I, Queen Elizabeth I, because she was a very strong woman who did awesome things, knew what she wanted. And alive, Sir Richard Branson, because he's an introvert, and I'd love to have a conversation with him. He knows what it is to fail and pick yourself up and start again, and he knows what it is to be a success. So, yeah.
All right. So, in a parallel universe where you're not the get known, be seen specialist or confidence coach, what would you be? What would what would you be doing, or what would you be your alternate profession?
My alternate profession. That is a really good question. I think my alternate profession would be a librarian, because then I
Nice.
could read all the books I want to when I wasn't working.
Wow. All right. Now, in 3 words, how would your friends describe you?
3 words: quirky, purple, and resilient.
Wow. All right. Purple now is it a noun, a verb? All right. Last question. One more on a serious note here. Right? If you could give one piece of advice to your younger self, what would it be?
One piece of advice.
Yep.
It would be to get speaking skills earlier, because I believe that if you've got good speaking skills, if you've worked out on your speaking journey, it underpins everything you do. And when you get to be able to speak, and you know that you can get up and speak and answer a question, it gives you the confidence to do anything else you want to do. So I would have liked to have started my speaking journey a lot earlier.
All right. Those were fantastic. This is the last question for the lightning round. Hats off to you, Trish, for diving into our lightning round, with enthusiasm and giving us a peek into your world. We truly appreciate that.
It's okay. I loved it.
Now, Bam Bam, stick around. We're about to dive into the heart of today's topic, brand empowerment. Find your voice and stand out. Stay tuned for the Learn from the Expert segment. All right, welcome back once again, amazing Bams, to Talking Business with Ritz. Grab your notepads and get ready to learn. Trish is about to share insights that can transform your business. All right, Trish, let's delve into the specifics, starting with our first subtopic. Okay, our first subtopic right now, or topic right now, is, I'm going to flash it on the screen. And here we go. It's about craft a compelling elevator pitch that resonates. So, Trish, right? Let's kick off with the essentials. What key elements do you believe make a pitch not just concise but also compelling?
Firstly, you need to know who you're speaking, who your audience is, who you're speaking with. You want to know what it is you want to achieve at this particular time with these particular people in the time frame that you've got. Then you need to make sure that you have actually structured that within that time frame. You should have a good opening. You should have include in that pitch some stories which catch people's attention, stories that resonate with people. You want to make sure that you tell them what it is that you can help them with, why they should be coming to have a conversation with you, how you can help them in the back. So you need to catch the facts and the emotional connection. If you don't have those two together, you're going to miss half your audience. You need to then have a very good conclusion. So what is it you want people to do when you've done the elevator pitch? You may only have 60 seconds, you may have a minute, may only have 40 seconds. You need to make it very quick, very concise, but you need to ensure that you end with a call to action. What do you want the people to do? And make sure that you've introduced yourself so they know exactly who you are at the beginning and you finish with who you are at the end.
All right. Is it true that it's something that make our audience nod and say, tell me more? Tell me more.
That's what you're looking for. And remember that when you're doing an elevator pitch, it's not about you. It's about the people that you might be able to help. And also remember that the people that you're speaking with, it's not always them. That's why you need to be doing a bit of a story, because you want them to remember who you are, what it is that you help, the problem that you solve. Because it might not be they in the immediate there who are your best client or who actually need you, but it's when they're talking to someone else and that person says something, they can resonate and say, that sounds like the story that Trish was telling me. I think you need to go and speak with her. So it's planting the seeds so that they remember who you are. When they're talking to someone, then they can remember and resonate with what that person might be saying to them about the problems they have. And that's how you can craft a really compelling elevator pitch that leaves them remembering you when they need to remember who you are.
All right. So, yeah, crafting an elevator pitch can be really a challenge. So, now for our viewers who are very eager to revamp their pitches, is there any common pitfalls that they need to avoid or tips for creating an elevator pitch that truly stands out aside from what you've already mentioned?
Okay. You need to find something that's uniquely you. This is where you need to be the unicorn. You need to be able to stand out. I don't know how many times that I hear people say, I'm an accountant. They get up and say, hi, I'm Mary. I'm an accountant. I do profit and loss. I look after books. I do your tax return. And the next person gets up and says, hi, I'm Joe. I'm an accountant. I do profit and loss and books. And by the time you've heard about 3 of those, you don't know who that person is. And let's face it, we're all unique in ourselves, but we're probably in businesses where there's other people who are doing exactly what you're doing. There's people who help introverts like I do. There's people who are speaker coaches like I do. The trick to that compelling is to avoid just being a name, rank, and serial number. You want to put a story in there. You want to do something that says, hey, I'm unique. And each of us is unique. There's something that either the way we do something or the way we say it, the different life experience or a bit of expertise twist that makes us a little bit different to the other person. So craft something a little bit unique so that when you get up, you're not just a name, rank, and serial number. And that's probably the main pitfall that people fall in. The second main pitfall is that they don't have a call to action. They craft a beautiful elevator pitch. It has a story in there. You've said something that makes you out unique. And then you forget to say, let's have a conversation or give me a call. Or if this is resonating, let's have a coffee. You need to have that call to action. Otherwise, people don't know what to do with what you said.
All right. That's a fantastic advice, Trish. Now, can you share a real world example of an elevator pitch that stood out to you and why?
One that stood out for me that I've heard, or one? Okay. One of the things that stood out for me was a person who got up and basically started their pitch with a really great story. Like, I am a person who owns this particular business, and when I'm not doing that, I'm doing something like this. And they managed to pull that all in, which like made me sit up and think, oh, what are you doing? And then I heard the story and then I thought, now I know what you're doing. So it was a little bit of a catchphrase. One that I use, which has caught people's attention, is I say, I help you to be the unicorn in your business. And people sort of go, oh, what does she mean by that? And that's me standing out a little bit and posing a question with that respect. Others that have been really good that started with a story about a client they've helped. They might just say, just last week, one of my clients came in and after about 15-minute conversation, I was able to help them. And they just gave me a call back just before I came in today and said they've just got 5 new clients utilizing something that I've said. That's a really great start because you say, oh, this is credibility. This is someone that you've actually helped. I want to listen to a bit more what you've got to say. So those are some of the things that you can use and that I've heard people use, which have been really good elevator pitches that I've remembered.
All right. Those are brilliant examples. Now, Bam Bam, all my audience right now, drop your questions for Trish in the live chat right now and take your opportunity to ask your questions. If you have questions later on, we're going to insert the Q&A segment. All right, so you'll have the chance to really ask questions and Trish will be answering you live. Okay, now let's transition to the next subtopic, which is defeat the imposter syndrome and own your expertise. So Trish, imposter syndrome can be a real challenge, right? Everybody has it. So what practical steps can our audience take to recognize and overcome it, allowing them to truly own their expertise?
Absolutely. Look, imposter syndrome will hit everybody. And one of the things that people do, they avoid it, owning up and understanding that it's okay that imposter syndrome is, you're not the only one. Statistics have said that probably around about 70% of people have imposter syndrome at some stage in their life. In fact, though, real talking to other people, it's probably more like 85 to 90% that people have it. And one of the problems of imposter syndromes is people sort of avoid saying they've got it because they think, okay, it's just me. Well, those statistics are telling you it's not just you. In fact, really, anybody that you admire, anybody who's a really great business person, a speaker, anybody that you think stands out, that it's a great influencer, when you speak to them, you'll find out that at some stage, and quite often, they've had imposter syndrome. So it's not uncommon, and it's something that we need to own. So the first step in defeating it is understanding that it's okay. Then it is recognizing when that hits. One of the big things that helps you to overcome imposter syndrome is believing in yourself. And that's why I said one of my favorite words is believe. And believing in yourself is not always easy. People, it took me a long time. It means that you have to have the courage to understand who you are. And that means the courage to understand your strengths and the courage to understand your weaknesses. And yes, we often dwell more on our weaknesses, but we are strong in other things as well. When we all have strengths, things that we're good at. So when you can understand and believe in yourself and understand that if you wanted to start a business, if you wanted to write a book, if you had a message, there was a strong belief that got you started on that journey. You started walking on that journey. So when things come in and you hear that little imposter syndrome, the negative voices, you step back and think, I believe in what I'm doing. That is a strong foundation. I started this business for a reason. I had a message for a reason. I wrote my book for a reason. That's my foundation. When you realize that, the next things that I find that help you to overcome that imposter syndrome is believing in yourself. The other one is credibility, third-party credibility. This is testimonials. All of us, and if you're not doing it, you should be doing it. All of us in business, books, whatever we're doing, we should get testimonials from the people that we are helping. If you have helped someone, ask them for a testimonial. Those testimonials go to your credibility, but they also go into your little bank, which when the imposter syndrome starts to speak, gets in there and nibbles at you. And this is what I do personally. So yes, I get imposter syndrome. We can't always be up high. Sometimes the lows come. When that happens, I go to my testimonials. I look at my testimonials and I read them because I feel to myself, how can I be listening to that negative voice that says I'm not good enough when right in front of me, I have testimonials from people who said, Trish, thank you for helping me. Trish, when I read your book, I needed to read those pieces of pages at that time. Trish, when I heard you speak, there was something that you said. And I look at those and I think to myself, I can say no to imposter syndrome because how dare you say I'm not good enough when I have written proof that I am good enough? The second thing I have, that's third-party credibility, is awards. I enter awards. I might be nominated for awards. And something that a lot of us have to get over, because when I was first nominated for an award, I thought, oh, no, I can't do anything like that. I'm not good enough. How dare you ask me to go and put a nomination in? And yet we're our own worst enemies. So I just did. And what happens is whether I'm nominated, whether I make final, or if I win the award, it's third-party credibility. Someone nominated me, so I thought I was good enough to go for that award. So when the imposter syndrome says you're not good enough, I think I've been nominated for several awards. These people thought I was good enough. Go away, boys. I'm not going to listen to you. if I the voice gets louder, a bit louder, I reach behind me and I pick up some of the awards that I've won. And I think to myself, these awards have been judged by people who've never known who I am. They're third-party credibility who've judged me on my submission, on what I've done, on what my business is like. So if they felt I was good enough, then I don't need to listen to imposter syndrome, because these people have thought I'm good enough. So that's what I do. I believe in myself. I go onto that rock solid foundation. I look at my testimonials. I look at my awards. I look at what I've done. I sit back and think, these are the things that I've achieved. Therefore, I am good enough, and I own how awesome I am. And I do all that through my 60 seconds of insane courage that I mentioned. So it's 20 seconds to understand and realize imposter syndrome is trying to creep in. And I say no to that negative voices. 20 seconds to think about my awards I've won, my third-party credibility, to believe in what I'm doing and understand my message. And 20 seconds to say, I am awesome. I'm freaking good. And I know what I'm doing. And I'm saying no to imposter syndrome.
Right. And then after that 60 seconds, we give that voice a banana to shut him up. Feel good.
Yeah.
All right. Excellent tips, Trish. Lastly, as individuals work on owning their expertise, how can they effectively communicate their value to clients or collaborators without actually feeling like they're bragging?
Well, firstly, you need to understand, if you don't tell people how good you are, who else is going to do it? Yes, you've got testimonials and that will back you up, but it's not bragging to own that you are good at what you do, to own your expertise. And it's a big step, people. I absolutely know how you feel, because especially in Australia, we have tall poppy syndrome. And also, like humans, we like to be part of the herd. We think it's a little bit scary to put our hand up and put our head up outside the herd. And that's why I say be the unicorn. Have the courage and the self-confidence to be the unicorn. And that means you own what you do. Each of us has our own expertise. Each of us has our own life experience. So firstly, it's not bragging. It's just accepting that this is what you're good at. If you weren't good at it, if you didn't do this, you wouldn't have started your business. You wouldn't have that drive to want to help someone. You wouldn't have that drive to write the book or to have the confidence to be an advocate. So own your expertise. The second thing is, once you own your expertise, put the price on it. Put the price on it. We undervalue ourselves, and we undervalue what we charge, especially when we first start in our business. We think, I better not charge too much, or if I put that price on it, people won't want to pay for me. And when people say to you, why should I pay for that amount? Why should I pay that amount? And I say to them, you're not paying for what I'm doing now. You're paying for the 20 or 30 years of my life expertise, my life experience that I bring to the next 30 minutes where I'm going to be speaking with you to change something, to help you move forward. So we are all human, but you know what? We can all be unicorns. And being a unicorn means accepting who you are, owning your expertise, understanding that the value that you bring is everything that you've done to this day. Exactly. And just read your testimonials, because that will back you up.
All right. Tremendous insight. Now, we on to number 3. All right. Our topic number 3 now is about persuasive speaking through powerful storytelling. This is the exciting part. All right. That's Trish. Storytelling is a powerful tool, right? How can our audience craft story not only capture attention, but also drive home a persuasive message? How do we do that?
Okay. Well, one of the things that I'm very have been able to develop over my business time is a little formula which I call effective communication. Mm-hmm. Effective communication is the balance between equals the information, the intellectual content, plus the emotional connection. To be persuasive, we need both of those components to have a really effective speech, effective communication. Now, if you've ever watched or been to university or been to TAFE or somewhere like that, when you've got a lecturer who will come out and they'll just dump all this great information. They know their knowledge. They just 30 minutes, you're busy taking notes, and they're giving you all of this information. But at the end of it, you walk away and you think, okay, I know I've got to pass the exam, but what's in it for me? Not much. Then you may come across really high motivational people, and they will take you on a powerful journey. They've got charisma. They'll take you up here in the high, and they'll take you down the lows. And by the time you've been listening to them for 30 minutes or an hour, you walk out and you think, I am so excited about this. And you've got no earthly idea what to do with it. You're just excited, but they haven't told you what to do. Persuasive speaking means you have to have a combination of both of those. It doesn't have to be equal, but you need to have both components for you to be a persuasive speaker. You need to be able to connect with them emotionally. And that means being able to phrase your words, being able to have your voice, your pitch, high, low, your body language that's bringing them in, your confidence. You need to have that emotional connection. But you also then need to give them information. If you're going to take them on an emotional journey, you've got to make sure that you know where you're going to take them. Mm-hmm. You start here, but you want your whole of your audience, the person that you're speaking with persuasively, to come with you on each of those steps to that journey and to all end up in the one spot. That means you need to structure your presentation with information, with taking them from one place to another, so that at the end you're all together, and then you put that call to action in. So you've got the emotional connection, the intellectual information all the way along, so that they're emotionally involved with what you want to say, but they also know what they need to take. Now, storytelling becomes a very important component of that. We are connected to stories. We're wired to listen to stories. It goes way back, I think, when we used to sit around in our caves around the fireplace. The only person that was able to take the information for each of the tribes down was the storyteller. And so we'd listen to the storyteller, and that person would hand down all the information from one generation to the next. So we're hardwired for stories. So when we hear a story, there's a little switch that goes on, and we think, oh, I'm going to listen to this. And the power of stories is that it introduces either you, and you tell them a bit of a backstory. When I was talking before, I said way back in the Jurassic period, connection. But I was also telling you how I was and what I was, and letting you resonate with, I'm not just someone that was born speaking. I'm not just someone that was great at doing what I was doing. I went through a journey, and I'm sharing that journey with you. And the stories could be your client stories. Remember I said in the when we're talking about your pitch, and you used your client stories. These stories illustrate your teaching points. And when you tell a story that's mixed up with the emotional connection and the information, and you've wind that into that story as an example, people are going to listen to it. The power of storytelling, there are several ways that you can bring that in. We've probably not got enough time to go through all of those, but you can start with a story, you can end with a story, you can start with half of your story, then go into your presentation, your speaking, and finish with the conclusion. There are a lot of techniques to that. But if you put the emotional connection with all your body language and your voice and your words, the information, put those together, weave your stories in there, then you've got the beginnings of very great persuasive speaking.
All right. I believe that is also the answer to my next question, where if they already have a story, right, and how can they seamlessly integrate their story into their persuasive speaking without really feeling forced or scripted. I think what you've just mentioned had already answered this kind of question, unless you still have something to add.
Well, I would just say that your stories have got to be, they've got to be genuine. They've got to reflect what you're saying. Now, a lot of people say, oh, we want me to tell a story, and they'll come out with a story. But if it isn't part and resonating and part of and reflecting what the outcome of your presentation is and what the outcome you want to achieve, then it's not going to connect. Telling a story for the sake of telling a story is not going to work if that story isn't reflecting or making a teaching point. I've got an example of someone who wanted to talk about real estate. And then she was doing a presentation about real estate. And because they were doing it at the venue was near in a yacht club, she started with a story about yachting, about a boat, and it went flat because these were people, real estate people. None of them knew anything about yachting. None of them was that. And the story didn't, she told the story, but the story hadn't connected or picked up any real estate connection. The story would have worked if she'd woven into that story, if they'd woven into that story something to do with, like, selling a house is like being able to get onto a boat and know where you're going to take that boat. You have to know everything about the house of the client if you're going to be doing it. That would have made that story connect. So telling a story for the sake of telling a story is not going to work for you. The story has to be reflecting a teaching point or reflecting something about you that people can resonate with. So it's making sure that the story matches the outcome. And that's one of the very big things you need to know in persuasive speaking. What is the outcome you want with these people at this particular time with the frame you've got? Where do you want to take them? Because if you don't know where you want to take them, the wilderness is a great place and we can get all lost in it, but it's not going to do well for your persuasive speaking.
All right. That's a fantastic advice, fantastic insights there. What an incredible conversation we have, Trish. If let's see if there are any questions. Okay, we don't have. So now, people, bam, stick around, everyone, and we're heading into our final segment. Let's hide this one, where Trish will be sharing how you can take these insights and turn them into action. It's time to explore how you can work directly with these amazing experts that we have here to level up your game. Okay, stay tuned for our Work with the Expert as we uncover doors they're opening for us. All right, here we go. All right. Welcome back. Fantastic. Bam Bam. Here are my takeaways from the previous segments. To defeat your imposter syndrome, recognize your genuine. You have to be, genuine self-awareness, focus on self-accomplishment, and surround yourself with supportive community to combat imposter syndrome. You're not alone. All right. And then for crafting a compelling elevator pitch, compelling pitch is concise of highlighting your unique value, sparks curiosity, and think about a mini story that leaves a lasting impression that will say, "Tell me more." All right. And watch the whole segment from the Learn from the Expert, and you'll learn a lot more from Trish. There's a lot of mic drops and value bombs that are in there. So watch the replay. All right. Now for persuasive speaking through storytelling, personal stories create an emotional connection where you humanize the message in a business context. So when we crafting stories, we strategically balance the relevance and the impact we put in the emotion, as I've learned from Trish, plus the know-how or the information that you want to teach or you want to impart, and couple it at the end with a call to action. All right. Now let's dive into the next phase, work with the expert, where Trish, please share with our audience the incredible offers and ways they can collaborate with you, and how can they tap into your expertise to elevate their journeys. So the stage is yours, Trish.
Oh, awesome. Look, there's several ways that people can work with me. One of the easiest, of course, is just book in and have a 30-minute free conversation, and we can have a conversation about where you want to go. And I'm sure that I can put the links down below. You can book in with Calendly.com. It's Calendly.com/Trischel, TRISCHEL/conversation. That will book you in. What have I got? I work with you in a variety of different ways. I have an 8-week VIP mentoring program, which is all about speaking and being able to do your pitch. And we do that 2 hours each week. And then it's all online, and I do 2-day intensive. And if I've got global people, I do a global workshop with them. Then, of course, there's 6-month and 12-month mentoring packages if you want to do long-term. What is exciting, though, I have just launched my Get Known, Be Seen speaker package for this year. And that is where I will work with you 3 sessions, one-on-one, to help you craft your keynote presentation. So we get to individual sessions. I have a little pre-conversation with you. Then we do 3 one-on-ones, and you've got your keynote presentation. Along with that, then we turn that keynote presentation into a chapter in a book. So it's volume 2 of my Get Known, Be Seen book. So not only will you have a keynote presentation and some speaking information on how to craft that and present it, you will also be an author because you'll have a chapter in that book. You'll also be interviewed on my Get Known, Be Seen web TV, and you'll be featured in my Speak Up with Trish magazine. That whole package is $1,000 Australian. And if you pay the upgrade, which is 500 Australian, you then get to also be at my speakathon in November, where you get to present your keynote and you are videoed with it. Now, for those who are global, if you can't get to the speakathon, which of course will be held in Australia and Queensland, I'm also will then do for my global clients, there will be a online summit where they can present their keynote presentation. That I'm really excited about, because it means you get to be a speaker, you have your keynote presentation, you also get to be an author. And from my perspective, I get to work with awesome people, helping them to get their message out. So that's my speaker package that's coming up. The other thing I've launched for 2024 is every month on the first Tuesday of the month at 9 a.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time, I will be presenting a 30-minute workshop. It'll be on Zoom. There's a link you can book in. You need to register for it, but it doesn't cost you anything. And if you can't make it, if you've registered, you'll get the replay. And what I will be doing is going through the art of speaking. So I will be going through each month, sharing some tips on speaking. And I'll be working through my book. That is one of our books that's coming out, which is called the A to Z of Speaking, Introvert and Expert Perspective. So in that respect. So those are some of the things that you can use. But hey, people, if you want to connect with me, I'm on LinkedIn, I'm on Facebook, I'm on Instagram. You can't miss me. I'm purple. There's my LinkedIn. Yep. And you can
all right. All right. Exciting opportunities, Trish. A massive thank you for being an incredible guest on Talking Business with Ritz. Your insights into crafting a compelling elevator pitch, overcoming imposter syndrome, and your 2020 and the power of persuasive storytelling. Your insights are pure gold. So again, Trish, thank you very much for making this a fantastic episode, and we hope to have you once again in our future episode of Talking Business with Ritz.
Oh, I'd be delighted. And thank you so much for the opportunity to share some of my stories and a little bit of my expertise and life experience with you all.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, Miss Trish Springteen. All right, now for our audience, we're eager to explore more. Remember to check out the resources Trish has shared and consider taking the next step. All right, by working with her directly, check out her website. It's flashing at the bottom. It's www.trishspringteen.com. All right, it's very easy to remember. And check out her Facebook page. The handle is Trishel, Triscel. And also, you can find her at LinkedIn as well. Trish Springteen. All right, so the possibilities are truly exciting, Trish. All right, thank you everyone for joining us today in Talking Business with Ritz. Once again, special shout out to Miss Trish Springteen, the Get Known Be Seen Specialist Confidence Coach. Watch out for her monthly workshop. All right. And she'll be dropping the link, or she'll be sending me the link so I can drop it on our YouTube and on our Facebook group, as well as my personal profile under G's live show right now. Now, thank you for being with us today, everybody. Make sure to comment your takeaways that resonates with you as well. Now, remember to like, subscribe, and share this episode if you enjoyed it. And if you have any questions for future episodes or want to connect with Trish, check the description below for YouTube for details. All right. Stay empowered, everybody. Stay inspired. Until then, remember, your journey matters, your story matters, and wishing you all fantastic day ahead. This is Ritzel, Loredo-Rectra, and Trish Springteen signing off. And stay safe, everybody. And let's continue talking business with Ritz. See you in the next episode. Bye, everyone.
Bye.